All right, boys, how you doing? Welcome on in. We have our very first Washington Commanders mock draft, the Commanders 1.0 mock draft, and this one was fun. This one was really fun. This one was interesting. A mock draft where I see okay, yes, things are not great. Things are bad, but they're not that bad. You have two tackles who aren't the greatest, aren't the best, but there are worse tackles in the National Football League to have. The interior of the offensive line definitely needs to get changed, rearranged. We make adjustments there. I love, of course, all the weapons that we have. Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson, and even Curtis Samuel. I love that there. There is a little bit of a fix that I do to the backfield, so be on the lookout for that. And then the cornerback position, I'm not off on Emmanuel Forbes. You guys let me know if you're off on Emmanuel Forbes. Let me know in the comments, but we're going to make an adjustment or an addition to the cornerback room. And then in the later round, we are going to as well make a linebacker addition that I actually really like. And then we're going to get another weapon on offense. So first things first, Jaden Daniels, guys. This one is pretty short and sweet. I'm going to be very happy for the mainstream media to kind of catch up to where I'm at, specifically with Jaden Daniels being the clear-cut number 2 quarterback in this draft. When you even look at numbers, right? Turn off the film. Let's just look at numbers, even though that's something that I don't love to do. 40 touchdowns through the air to 4 interceptions. Guys, that ratio does not happen very often, if at all. 3,811 passing yards through the air. And then we got a passing grade of 92, intermediate game of 89.4, no pressure grade. So when there's no pressure, sometimes quarterbacks can feel a need to I got to get rid of it. I'm anxious. Why hasn't no one tackled me yet? And he can still show that poise, that calmness to still get the ball out at an effective rate. The deep ball is where the money is made. Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson, what could they do with accurate and assessed and consistent deep ball action? Pause on that one. And that grade is at a 99.2. And his pressure grade, whether it be still 63, it is well above the average, well above the medium. And so with all that being said, it's beautiful, it's sweet, but we have not even talked about what this man can do with his legs. This past season at LSU, 1,134 rushing yards, his longest being 85 yards and 10 touchdowns. And the year prior, 885 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns. Guys, they are going to say this kid is Lamar Jackson. It is respectful. This kid is a pure pocket lethal passer that has the most disgustingly athletic lower body of legs that I've ever seen. Jaden Daniels is going to be a massive weapon for the Commanders. I have to move on, even though I really want to keep going. We got to get edge help. You guys lost Montez Sweat, and of course you lost the bust. I don't know, is he a bust? Where are you guys going with Chase Young? Is he a bust? I kind of think he is. For him to be out of the building and not contributing what he did, we're going to pick up Chop Robinson out of Penn State. I really like watching this kid work. 6'3", 250 pounds. I guess I would love to put a little bit more meat on his bones. I just love his speed. He's a speed rusher, but not only is he a speed rusher, he's really active with his hands, which is something you really want. In 2022, he had 34 QB hurries, and in 2023, 18. But you guys, we have to make a distinction. He was getting looked at a little bit more. He was getting chipped a little bit more. He came into his own right, and so a lot of attention was going his way. The sacks aren't exactly where I want them to be, only having 5 in 2022, 3 in 2023. When you get into the NFL, you learn more pass moves, you learn how to actually pass rush. In college, it really is more of beat this tackle, especially in the Big Ten. It's really just beat your tackle athletically, beat your tackle with a few pass moves. But he ended the season with a 90.8 PFF grade, his pass rush grade at a 92.3, run defense at a 76.3, which is, in my personal opinion, the most important. And then true pass set. So in true pass set is something that there's no play action, there's no finicky stuff behind the backfield. It's just a straight up drop back or shotgun play. He had a grade of 93.1 in those circumstances, and the pass rush win rate to be at 20%. So once every 5 reps, he's beating the tackle almost instantly. And guys, that is a very, very high rate. Once again, Chop Robinson's a guy I could keep going on for, but we got to move on. And then we get Mr. Jaden Daniels, a weapon, right? And I have no flack on Logan Thomas. I just think he is a big boy that's not very athletic, a big boy that has a really good catch radius. I love what he does. And I think it's about time that we just upgrade that tight end position. So we're going to go get Javon Sanders out of Texas. I believe he is the consensus number 2 tight end, at least for the moment. We'll see after combine and things like that. There were some good tight ends at the Senior Bowl. The touchdowns aren't really there. That's something that I don't love. I think touchdowns is the one metric that really translates into the NFL. But guys, this kid is athletic. This kid has real good jump ball potential. Now, one thing that I'm not in love with is of course his run blocking. He gets bullied a lot. He gets beat up by linebackers. He gets beat up by edge rushers, but he definitely has a frame where you can teach him something. And effort with the tight end blocking is really the main game of everything. He tied 7th with 7 contested catches this past season in the Big 12, a receiving grade of 78.9 yards per route run at a 1.85, which is well above the average. And pretty much what that is, it's going to be, the routes accustomed for him going deep, him having a screen, him doing something short. And so of course he's involved in that to where he's going all over the place. And so we love that. So we get Jaden Daniels, the young Jaden Daniels, another weapon within the offense. I think that is very important. And then we go back to the trenches. We go and find another edge rusher that can help us out. This Austin Booker kid, man, his measurables are absolutely out of this world. 6'6", 245 redshirt sophomore. I think this kid has a lot of potential to be great. 9 sacks this past season in the Big 12, which is something that is quote unquote easy, but very hard in the same right to do in the Big 12, because yes, there is a lot of passing, but guys, they are getting the ball out at a very high rate in the Big 12. And the batted balls is only at 1 at a guy that's 6'6", that's definitely going to climb up into the NFL. But I love the hurries at 27, guys. That is something that is very, very good to hurry up the quarterback 27 times is fantastic. Pass rush rate of 80.6. Once again, you got to translate that into the Big 12. That is good numbers. And then the run defense at a 78.5, which is the one thing that I'm probably most proud of this kid to do, is to have a really good rush grade in the Big 12. That's something that is very, very important. A true pass rush grade is at 88.2. And then that pass rush win rate, of course, about 6% less than Chop, but still at a really good volume. And so we get 2 pass rushers that are going to help us out. And then here we go into the cornerback room. We get Kyrie Jackson. This kid was at the Senior Bowl, and I gotta be transparent, gonna be honest, 6'3", 195. I really love his measurables. A lot bigger than Emmanuel Forbes by about 25 pounds precisely. I just love his gifts athletically. Can be a little bit grabby. Doesn't have the best of feet when being pressured, but let's look at what he did in the Pac-12. Only 2 touchdowns from 2021 to 2023. 3 interceptions in his last season, has a coverage grade of 77.4, Pac-12, a lot of passing. We love that, but what we love more, and the reason why I think he is going to be a better gift for you guys, is the run defense at 82.2, which something that Emmanuel Forbes, I didn't think he had a problem with hitting in the SEC at Mississippi State, but like we saw, it didn't really translate year 1 into the NFL. Man coverage grade at a 67. That is really good for a 6'3" corner. We got to keep everything in perspective. A heavy 6'3" corner at that too. And then 74.9 in zone coverage grade. Those are really good numbers for a big old corner. And then we move on to center. Cedric VanPrater. I do not think there is a universe where you guys get him this late and all the way up in the 4th round. It is possible, but this kid I believe he is going to be a higher pick. Cedric VanPrater, he's currently the number 3 center, away from behind a kid out of West Virginia, Zach Frazier. You're going to start seeing Cedric VanPrater climb up and probably even beat him out because of the measurables of Cedric VanPrater, and really him being at 6'4", 310. He's an athletic freak, man. I really love the things that he does. He gave us a overall grade of 77.9, and one thing we have to do is this is in the SEC, so a pass block grade, which is something of beautiful measures in the SEC of 81.5. So his ability to anchor these huge athletic interior defenders, run block grade of 76.9. Once again, this is the center, right? This is the center giving up these really phenomenal grades. Zone grade of 75.4, which is something that definitely the Commanders implement, but even from time to time when Brian Robinson Jr. gets in the backfield, they turn to a little bit more of a gap scheme. So him not really falling off at 66.7, that's awesome. And then true pass sets at a 70.7. I really like what he's going to bring. I do not think he's going to be available in the 4th round, but I think if you guys can get him in the 4th, we're doing some great things. And then I wanted to bring some excitement, some energy, some love, some real attention into the backfield, right? I still don't know what you guys are doing with Antonio Gibson. I don't know his real list of real impacts to the offense. I don't know. I just need something to change up. And this isn't to knock Brian Robinson Jr., but I just need a gadget guy that's going to be like a Christian McCaffrey of sorts. So Clemson running back Will Shipley, I've been loving this kid ever since he was a freshman. He has a phenomenal zone grade. I know he can do everything within the gap scheme as well. He's very athletic, very attentive, very smart. It's just something at Clemson they don't do very often. So why would they, even really pursue that? This kid is very, very tough runner. He can catch anything and everything. Very, very athletic in the department of what you guys need for spark players. And so I like that. And then we go and get a helpful, reliant, potentially good linebacker for us out of Texas and Jaylen Ford. And this is just something to reload that linebacker room, something that I don't think is really much of greatness at all. But this kid was coached by Gary Patterson, a phenomenal former TCU head coach, a defensive mind that is absolutely incredible, well respected. And once again, in the Big 12, we have to put things in perspective. To have a rush grade, a run defense grade of 80.2 in the Big 12, it is so phenomenal because of how little that they run, and the little times that they do run, you're doing your job. And we love that. Of course, he has a lot of missed tackles, something I don't love, something that can get fixed. He is a very big athletic linebacker, and so that is definitely something that can be fixed. And then the last pick for the Washington Commanders is going to be Andrew Rame out of Oklahoma. And I know you're saying, whoa, a second center, Miles, what are we doing? I know what you're seeing is second center, but I need to let you guys on a little secret. I am a massive OU fan. This kid is 6'4", 309, and at the Senior Bowl, he was doing mostly guard play. Very little center work that he was actually doing. He was doing a lot of guard work. He is very athletic, very nimble on his feet. He has a huge potential pool to be a really good serviceable guard in the National Football League. And I think that's where you guys would be able to go. This is a bend, not break type of kid. Pass block grade of 69.8, gap grade of 62.7. Everything Oklahoma really does for the most part is gap related. Of course, there's a little bit of zone, but him playing the center position, that is once again in the Big 12, it's a difficult agenda to really do exceptionally well like that. And so I like him a lot. I think that he can be a very, very serviceable guard for you guys, and especially in the 7th round. This is not a crazy great offensive line class. Like, I hope you're going to figure that out in due time. And so getting him in the 7th and having him play a lot of guard, it's going to bode really, really well for for the offensive line. So once again, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. First round, Jaden Daniels at quarterback, Chop Robinson and Javon Sanders in the second. And then in the third, we're going to pick up Austin Booker, Kyrie Jackson. In the fourth round, Cedric VanPrater, Will Shipley. In the fifth round, Jaylen Ford in the sixth, and Andrew Rank in the seventh. Like, comment, and subscribe.